What's going on, everybody? I'm Relentless and welcome your butts back to another Division 2 build video. But take a moment, if you don't mind, and please show some love to that like button. Also smash that sub button if you happen to be new to the channel. You've asked for me to do a rifle build and I'm here to deliver. As always, I haven't actually made a rifle build since well before Title Update 5. And to go along with that, it just seems more or less, it's just another easy build to put together, like pretty much the shotgun build. And essentially, it's, around the same as far as it's just a longer extended version of, in my opinion, a shotgun build that is super easy. So I give you my take on it. Keep in mind that you can choose whatever specialization that, caters to your needs or wants. Also, weapon talents and talents on gear themselves, you can pick and choose and tailor them to your playstyle, and I have this one made up to mine. So without further ado, let's hop into some gameplay and then get back into the build. We'll see you guys back here in a moment.
Uno versus uno.
Regular build, no, bro.
You get clapped in the ass cheeks, mother trucker!
Bro, I just perfect it, bro.
You suck balls 2 times.
As you can see, it completely slaps. I've actually asked around as far as different members of the Gorilla Nation, as far as what's their overall base damage when it comes to their rifle builds, because I know they use them quite frequently, and I'm hitting for around 15 to 17k more than they are, and in line with the same amount of toughness and health and armor as they are. So I know this absolutely slaps, and if you have better aim than I do, because as we all know, I have complete potato aim. If I can make it work, then anyone can make it work. So let's hop into the build. Now, starting out first, I'm using the Sharpshooter just for if I happen to hit a headshot, that would be a miracle. But if I do, the Sharpshooter will give me an additional headshot damage. But you can choose whatever specialization you want. Also, if you're on PC, instead of Devastating, you would probably want to go with the likes of Precise here on the gloves in place of Devastating. But since I'm on console and have potato aim, keep that in mind. That is why I chose the talent on the M1A, and that is Lucky Shot. This particular one is 137.4k. And what is Lucky Shot? It is magazine capacity is increased by 20%. Missed shots from cover have a 100% chance to return to the magazine. So when I completely potato aim, I miss my shots while I'm in cover, then they return right to my magazine and I can keep firing. It's pretty much the same as what One as None would be back in Division 1, and I think I'm a poet and I did not know it. But anyways, it has optimized on it for plus 15% weapon handling because I need all the help I can get. But if you want to choose Allegro, it's not much difference. The RPM without Allegro is 180, with Allegro is only 198, so not much difference there. Reload time is 2.7 seconds. I couple that with the Merciless to help proc Spark. But also you could use this 50.3k, just add on Destructive in a place, so that way, you get that additional explosive damage. Like I said, I have this one with also Lucky Shot on it, but it's 2k less and it has Greased. Of course, I'm still looking for a better M1A. But if you want to go a different route with a different rifle, I have the Diamondback here with 181.5k. I have a Police MK17, 75.1k, 275 RPM, 25 round in the magazine. This will be my second go-to. And also, as you can see, it still has Lucky Shot on it as well. And of course, optimal range and protected reload. You can go with a SOCOM M1A. This one is at 76.2. And of course, this has Boomerang on it, which is catered to more crit chance. And I'm just going off pure base raw damage. But you can use basically whatever rifle you so choose. These are basically just my go-to and my favorite. But if I wanted to go crit chance on it, then I have the Boomerang talent on some rifles as well. So let's get into the particulars of this build. Now, starting out first, we went with the 3-piece True Patriot. And for having 3 pieces, of course, you get that 10% total armor. Then you get the red, white, and blue. When you shoot an enemy, apply a debuff to them. Debuffs are applied in the order red, white, blue, cycling every 2 seconds. Red decreases damage dealt by the enemy. White restores armor to friendlies that shoot this enemy. And then blue boosts skill haze to friendlies that shoot this enemy. So it works out really well. Now the others, I have 2-piece Heliguard, and that gives me 5% total armor, and then of course 20% has protection. 1 Overlord, that gives me that rifle damage. If you want to go with 2, I was playing around with the Fox's Prayer, which is perfectly entrenched. As you can see, it dips my armor not really drastically too much, just around 10k. Still has that offensive mod slot, just as the True Patriot E-pads do, but the True Patriot ones also have a defensive mod slot. But like I said, if you're in cover, and especially on PC, where it's super easy to just ding those headshots away, then you definitely want to go with perfectly entrenched on your knee pads, and as well as precise on your gloves. But perfectly entrenched headshots from cover repair 15% of your armor. Notice it says headshots from cover, not headshot kills. So you don't actually have to kill the enemy. All you have to do is ding them in the noggin, and you get 15% of your armor repaired, and it requires a rifle or marksman. Now let's hop into the gear itself. Starting out with that mask that I was on, I went with 553 skill power, 21,960 health. Basically, the reason why I'm using skill power here instead of, say, that crit chance or some hazard protection, which is if I can't find another piece that I can actually pull some skill power off of, then I could switch to the technician, and that would put me well over 2k, so I get more heals. But like I said, it all depends on your personal preference. I'm still looking for an additional piece in this build, so that way I can add at least 300 to 500 more skill power, so that way it'll increase the my healing rate of, say, Chem Launcher, Hive Heal, and pretty much any kind of healing skill that I so choose to use. But if you want to go with health or crit chance here, by all means, whatever floats your goat. And it has an offensive mod slot, and I'm getting 5% weapon damage to my rifle. Now moving on to the second piece of True Patriot. This one has 787 skill power, and then 26,728 health, with 2 offensive mod slots. And the first one, another 6% going to my rifle, and then the second one, 6.5%, for a total of 12.5% weapon damage going to the rifle. Now, finishing up and rounding off the 3-piece True Patriot, I have the knee pads with 12% total armor, and a offensive mod that gives me additional 5.5% rifle damage, and then in the mod slot, 3911 armor, 3.5% total armor, and then 4% explosive resistance. Now on to the gloves. The gloves has 11% hazard protection, so at least I have a little bit, counting that 20% from the Heliguard, so 31. So at least I'm not completely bare bones. But I also have the 13% rifle damage, and of course the devastating that gives me another 5%, for a total of 18% weapon damage just on these gloves alone. Now on to the chest piece. The chest piece has 15.5% total armor, 14.5% weapon damage, and then 25,816 health, and we're utilizing Bloodsucker. So essentially you can 2-tap someone's armor completely off, get your proc of armor, and then completely go and continue on to Pound Town. Now, if they're running an absolute tank build, then you can 3-tap their armor off, and even though it's only at 180 RPM, those 3 shots are really quick and easy, and you can completely destroy someone's armor off really fast, and it just, helps out your overall survivability. And of course, we have 2 defensive and an offensive mod slots, starting in the defensive first, 5128 armor, 3% total armor, 4% explosive resistance. And the offensive, we're getting another 5% weapon damage to my rifle. And then the second defensive mod slot, 4869 armor, 3.5% total armor, and then 3% explosive resistance. Now moving on to the backpack. 5.5% total armor, 5% weapon damage, 30,476 armor, with Hardened and Spark. That Spark will give me additional 15% weapon damage on top of that 137, which is completely just disgusting. I think it hits for almost 150 with Spark procced. And of course, it has an offensive and defensive mod slot. I wish I had better mods to go in the backpack, as well as I believe it was my knee pads. So that way, you know, I'm getting more and upwards to around that 6 to 6.5% like the 2 that's in my holster. So if you have those particular mods, then your damage numbers will reflect that. And of course, in the defensive mod slot, 4869 armor, 3.5% total armor, and 3% explosive resistance. I don't know if I actually went over that, but there you go. I guess if I did already, then that's just repeating it. Now, as far as holstered talent, like I said, I'd gladly replace that 11% hazard protection for the likes of around 300 skill power, such as what is on these True Patriot gloves. So that way, like I said, it would make my heals more potent. But if you don't want to, have anything to do with skill power, then just substitute for percentage of health or crit chance. And I know what you're going to say, why even put out even more build videos, knowing that things are going to change as far as the gear, weapon talents, basically square one, repeat, restart all over again. Well, honestly, that update is months away, so I still am going to be bringing content all the way up until then, because as you know, I try to upload a daily video regardless. And like I said, this is the first rifle build I actually done since way before Title Update 5. And plus, I got comments in the comment section as far as for me to do my take on a rifle build. Now, since I am low on hazard protection, this is where your sidearm comes in handy. You can go with stop, drop, and roll, as I typically do when I'm not really running that much hazard protection. Stop, drop, and roll while equipped. Rolling removes burning, bleed, and poisoned status effects. Also, the specialist sharpshooter that I'm using, it makes you less susceptible to status effects after you apply an armor kit, so it actually pairs out really well with stop, drop, and roll. But once I get my skill power up there, then I will stay with Rooted. Rooted is while equipped and in cover. All skill damage and healing is increased by 25% for 10 seconds. And then, of course, if I just want to forego both and just stack on additional health instead of the skill power I have, then I'll just go with Protected Reload. While equipped, this weapon grants 10% bonus armor while reloading. Or I would just go for a little extra weapon handling, and that would be by way of Overlapped. So, sky's the limit. It's whatever your personal preference is as far as when it comes to holster talents on your sidearm. But of course, it would make things a lot easier if I had the likes of stop, drop, and roll, or protected reload, or any of those aforementioned talents on my sidearm in my holstered talent of my particular weapon itself. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it's been informative. Tweak it as you see fit. Most people are running, perfect vigilance. Or just vigilance in general as a chest piece talent, and I prefer Bloodsucker, and no one should be running Unbreakable whatsoever. So if you see a PvP build, someone using Unbreakable, just save yourself the heartache and the misery and just forego using Unbreakable. It was completely trash in PvP. You get a better rate of survivability with the likes of Bloodsucker. You can have multiple procs at the same time, and plus Unbreakable is on cooldown. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate all the love and support. We'll be doing a $50 PSN, Steam, or Xbox Live gift card once I hit 12K, and we're only like 130 subs off of hitting that 12K mark, so be sure to ground and pound that sub button, and also like that if you happen to be new to the channel, or just like in general for the content and that you're enjoying it. But appreciate you guys. We'll see you fudging later.